Hello everyone and welcome back to The Sims 4, and we're actually going to take a little bit of a break from our Wolf Quest wolves today and do something else, and that's going to be we're going to start to create some of our Dog Sled Saga dogs. Now, we're not going to do all of them. We have 6 currently, I believe, and we're only going to do the first 4. I'll probably release them in packs of 4, so every time we get 4 new dogs, we'll do a pack for them soon, shortly after that, and we'll get that all set up. But for now, we're going to be doing our first 4, Shasta, Chase, Rory, and Aeon. And we'll start off with them here. Now, this little guy is cute, but he's not really going to be sled dog material. So I think we'll start out, let's actually just go straight to breeds. And we will, first of all, work with Shasta. So Shasta's the lead dog. Oh yeah, and the other thing that, that I have here too is we might play around with some of the new content from the My First Pet pack. I believe that's what it's called, because I do have the new, you can see I have new items here, and there's new tails, I guess, that I haven't, oh, it's, it's because I'm looking at a small dog, that's why. Where do we go? Here we go. Here's the husky, and that's actually already pretty close to how Shasta looks. That's actually fairly close already. I want to change the facial shape a little bit, but we'll go ahead and I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Actually, why? Okay, I want to change the muzzle, I think. Or we'll change the head shape. I'm going to do this, I think. I don't actually really like the husky's head shape very much in this, and so we'll start with something like this, and we'll change it a little bit, I think. I'm gonna make the ears a little bit bigger, and we'll work with the shape a little bit. The nose needs to be shorter and a little bit wider, I think. Can I make it wider just back there? That's actually not something I like quite as much. Can I just look at... Yeah, well, you can just change the nose shape. That changes the shape of the actual nose, so you have to change the head shape to get to change the rest of the facial shape. Okay, this might be a little bit better if we shorten the muzzle up quite a lot and then change the ears, because I didn't really like their husky facial shape. I don't really know why, I just didn't. That's a little too big for the ears. And what I think we'll do is I might change the eyes, not to that. That's not bad. Is there a way we can rotate them slightly? Maybe, and then we move them down just a little bit. I don't know why they're looking so big. Maybe we'll make them a little bit smaller there. And can we move them again a bit? Maybe something more like that. I actually like that quite a lot, and I think that looks pretty good. I think it's mostly the muzzle shape that I didn't like. But this is a little bit more... a little bit closer to what I think of, at least when I think of a husky. It could be too, huskies where I come from tend to look a little bit different than elsewhere because I live in a desert, and so the dogs that have been actually bred out here tend to have a little bit different of a build than the ones that are actually bred in colder environments. That's just natural adaptation. They fare better out here if they have like shorter fur and stuff. It happens even in domestics too. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good, and this will be a good start for Shasta. So, Dog Sled Saga doesn't give us a whole lot to go off with the coloration. There's only 3 colors of huskies and less of other dogs. So I'm kind of expounding off of it a little bit, and I'm going to be going off of my designs for them that I've been using for the thumbnail images. So we have thumbnail images done for Shasta and Rory right now, and I'm going to be getting the other ones done as soon as I can. But that may be a little bit... Can I just look up... If I just look up husky, that's a really simplistic one. I don't like that quite as much. Here we go. We have, this is the typical husky coat. What does the Malamute coat look like? Alaskan Malamute. I actually like these colorations a little bit better, perhaps. I think this one looks more like how I imagine Shasta, at least in terms of the pattern. So we'll change that. This is gonna, we'll make this a little bit lighter. I actually like that shade. This is gonna be more grayish, more silvery gray, I think. Something like that, and then this can end up being a bit more of a warm kind of gray color. I actually really like that look for Shasta. That matches what we see in the thumbnail, and it's kind of he's a lot lighter. He's considered to be a white husky, I think, according to the game, and so he's definitely going to have much lighter fur. I'm going to shrink his muzzle just a little bit because it still seems too long. But yeah, so I think that looks pretty good for Shasta. And what we'll probably end up doing, I think, I like that look, and I think what I'll do is, do I want to adjust his eyes very much? I think I like that coloration. Or what's this one? No, this one's more accurate. I like that one quite a lot, and I think this looks pretty good for how I envision him. So what I'm going to do now is we actually will look at some of the clothing here. There's actually a lot of options, and so like we've seen some of these. I think we've gone through some of these before. We could give him a unicorn horn. And then some of these are custom content that I actually got for creating niche creatures. I think they're by the Kalino, if I'm hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, and I will, if you look at my niche creatures video, I have a link to these in the video description there. And then we have several different types of collars, and then this is all new. So we have like an astronaut suit there, it looks like, and there's actually different colors of that too. That's pretty cool. So I didn't, this is all new. This is with the, so you can see this with my first pet stuff pack. That's what that little hamster icon means. I'm actually going to remove the horns too because we're not going to put those on a husky. So you have, I think this is just kind of like a shirt. That's like a kind of Hawaiian-y sort of walking shirt, vest, harness thing. Just different types of things. There's a banana suit. You can literally put your dog in a banana suit. And a hamster hoodie. That's cute. So this is some of the stuff that comes with the new pack. But what I think we're going to end up doing is... That's a bandana. Okay. What we'll probably end up doing is they don't really have a very good harness. So we'll use this one because this is probably the closest we're gonna get. This is like a walking or hiking harness kind of thing. It's not really what you would see for dog sledding. Maybe I'll have to show you guys. My Sierra has a harness that, because we used to do urban mushing stuff with her, and which is basically like dog sledding, but desert version. And there we go, we have green, okay. And we'll use this nice hunter green here because we have a green harness for the lead dog position, and that's what Shasta is. So I think that looks pretty good. But yeah, I'll have to see if I can maybe show you my Sierra's harness at some point, because we did used to do that with her. And a sledding harness, if you haven't seen one, looks a lot different than this. This is like a walking harness, but it's the closest thing we have. I don't think we have anything other, like if we go walking, yeah, I think that's the closest thing we've got. So we'll go ahead and this is going to be as close as we can get. Maybe someday someone will make a dog sledding harness, but I have yet to see one. So yeah, for now, this is what we have, and we'll go with this. And so that will be for Shasta. So let's go ahead and we'll get his name in. And he doesn't really have a last name. He is male. He is an adult. And... I feel like that's probably a good bark for him. I feel like he's got a little bit of a higher pitched bark, and so I think that's pretty good. And then for his traits, he's active for sure. Huskies do tend to be active. That's a pretty accurate trait there. I would say he's definitely smart because he's a lead dog, so he kind of has to be. He has to be able to make decisions somewhat on his own and to think for himself. Independent might not be a bad trait, but he also has to be a team player, so I'm not sure that's quite what we're looking for here. And I would say... What would I say for Shasta? I would say maybe adventurous? Maybe friendly. You know what? I think we will give him the independent trait because as a lead dog, he does have to have the ability to kind of make decisions on his own and to go off of that. So I'm gonna do something a little bit weird here, and in order to get, because we changed the husky form quite a lot. So what I'm gonna actually do in order to try and get something like this is I'm actually gonna use the play with genetics option, and why is, oh, there we go. Okay, choose a breed. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll look for a husky. And none of the dogs are actually related, but because I'd like to get some of the features that we have with Shasta, and I'd like to use those again, I'm gonna randomize the traits based off of the normal husky and then Shasta's traits to try and get something that looks a little bit more like that, and then we'll just remove the actual relation. But this can help sometimes if you don't want to redo everything again. I'm just gonna see if we can get something varied off of that. We're not coming up with anything super good, actually. Maybe something like, I don't know. You know what? This isn't working so well. I think we'll just go ahead and just create another husky, because I think that'll be a little easier. That's kind of a cool looking dog, too. So sometimes that works, sometimes that really doesn't work. And in this case, it basically didn't work. Okay. So let's see. Again, I'm gonna mess with the face a little bit. I think, because we'll go with Rory next, I think. And I feel like this could be a good head type for her. If we bring in the nose, and then maybe if we change the ears back to this. I feel like Rory has kind of mid-sized ears. Maybe something like that. Let's change her eyes to, was it this one that, no, that's what she has. Not that. Not that. I'm not liking any of those specifically. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to make her cross-eyed. If we move this round this way a little bit, and then maybe rotate it a little. I actually don't like that one quite as much. Which one did I use? Now I can't remember. That was kind of why I wanted to do that. Okay, let's rotate them slightly. I think it might have been this one. And I just made them a little bit smaller. And then Rory actually has a little bit darker blue eyes, so I'm going to go with that for her, I think. And then maybe a little bit more forehead? Can we actually do that? Maybe. Just a little bit there, I think. And let's kind of go like that. I think that's pretty good for her basic looks. So Rory's a little bit unique in that she actually has, like, she's not your typical type of husky. So in the game, she's just a brown husky, but I'm actually, was it here? If I look at the German Shepherd markings, do we have, no, there was one that I wanted to use that I saw that reminded me of her. She has some kind of atypical markings that I think are maybe a little more like this. Actually, that doesn't quite cover the face in the way I was hoping it would. Okay, let's look at this and see. This is 3 colors. If we do white and then brown, no, this isn't going to work. So if you see Rory in the thumbnail, I gave her some kind of atypical markings. Now, those are markings you can find on huskies. It's just a little bit less common than what you typically think of with huskies. And I'm going to be going off of that look rather than just the simplified one, because we're going to try and add some distinction between our dogs in the game, even if it's not necessarily there in-game. So let's see. Whoa, you have like pink feet. That's a little bit different. So that's the feet. That's the face. What is this? That's the face. So if we go black, or I actually really like a very dark brown, but I don't know. I think that's the closest we get. Where's the black then? Oh, that's like the back. Okay. Is that gonna be... This will be the same color here. And then this is like the feet, right? Yeah, this will be the feet. And I have kind of this brownish gray color for most of her body. And then this is actually... And I don't really like this coat, actually. I don't think it's gonna quite work for what we want. This might, if we lighten some of this up a little bit. That's still really gray, though. I kind of want... Ooh, that's getting closer. That's definitely getting closer. Where is this? That's the main dark area. That's gonna go really red. That's gonna be too light. I think black is still a good option, but we might play with some color overlays. I gave Rory a bit of a more detailed pattern when I designed her looks, and so we might, I don't know, we might have to do a lot with the paintbrush for her. Let's see. We have, oh gosh, we're already really far into this too. I don't know, you guys. I'm going based off the looks that I gave her there. Maybe we'll try kind of a shepherdy look. If I give, what is that? That's the very underside. So if we give her kind of this gray color, or maybe, I just want like gray, like that gray maybe. And then what about this kind of gray? Possibly. Maybe something more like that, possibly. And then this could be... No, that's still gonna go... There's not as many good brown options in this as I would like there to be, unfortunately. That is one of my major pet peeves with this designer. What about... Oh, something like this, maybe? Is there a good mask color, though? No, that's like the... That's like part of the face. I don't know. We worked with this one already. I think I'm gonna use this one. And we'll set this to that, and this to that, and then it'll be kind of a brownish gray, or maybe to this one, yeah. And then I'm kind of changing my mind a lot, sorry you guys. That gives us a nice brown, actually. This is going to give us some nice brown. Maybe if I go, no, that's still really brown, or that's not quite brown enough. Maybe more like that. I think I'll still keep the black in there. And then let's lighten this just a little bit. Is there a way we can do that that will be less saturated brown? Like a little bit less... I don't know. It's kind of some tough choices. I think what I'll do is maybe I'll just go with this kind of base color on all of it. What I'll do is I'll try and get a nice base color, and then we'll literally just paint her markings on over that. So I'm going to set all of it to white for now. And what we'll do here then is I'll start working and trying to... Here, which one is going to be the main color? Not that one. Because then we can start kind of building off of it. Okay, this will give us some... That's not too bad. That's not too bad either. A little bit lighter underneath, possibly. Possibly if we can do that. More like that, maybe. More like that. And there, actually, that gives us a nice mask. That's going to be too red. That's not quite brown enough. Maybe more like this. Maybe. Or I actually like this quite a lot. Okay, so we'll go with this for the base, and then I'm gonna go into paint mode and see if I can get this looking a little bit. I'm not super pleased with this design, and if I was a little bit better with the paint mode, it probably would be even better. And let's go to white. Okay, if I do this, because she has like this white mark on her head too. Then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to erase away the outsides to make it a little bit more detailed. She's got like that white patch on her head. It's a little smaller than that even. It's very, very thin. Just kind of this little tiny white patch. And then she's got even more of it on her, around her nose here. And that's got a little bit more to it. And I think then if we can erase off the sides here, even a little skinnier than that, maybe a little bit more than that. There we go. That's getting there. That's actually not too bad. And then we'll have this nice brown color. What I think I'll do then is the brown color's not too bad. I'm going to actually lighten this just a little bit around on the rest of the face, I think. It will make the brush a little bit bigger. And if we do something like this, this will give her a little bit more lightness on the face. Do I really like that, though? I'm not sure I really do. I'm gonna grab this color and put some more of this in on her face a little bit. Here we go. Just a little bit. And we'll put some of that inside the ears. I'm probably not gonna like this when it turns out, honestly, you guys. I'm probably not going to really like how it's turned out. And then we'll grab maybe more from around here and use that for kind of this area. And then we'll paint that in. I'm actually going to put that around the outsides of the ears because I think that looks a little nicer. And we're getting there. We're getting there. And then I'll put this on the very outside of the ears. And that will be the very outside and the back. And then down here we will see more of this darker kind of looking area. Alright, we'll kind of paint that on. And I think I'm going to darken it down even more. And we'll kind of paint some of that in down her back. And we'll grab some of this, paint that in maybe around the chest area, kind of lighten that up, kind of lighten up the underbelly a little bit more. And we're getting there. I'm still not super pleased with this, but it's getting closer. We'll grab some of this again. I'm going to shrink down the brush size and maybe paint in a little bit kind of... no, actually, I don't like that quite as much. I actually really don't like that. I'm going to clear it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solid base with, like, not quite that color, a little bit less saturated maybe, or which color would be best? These are all the default colors still. If we can get there, we just need to... Something like this that's still really colorful. Maybe a little bit less than that. Still a little bit more gray. That's getting there. That's getting there. And if we do that, and just kind of paint over everything with it, then we can start layering in on top. Rory is by far going to take the longest because I feel like she has more complicated markings. The others are fairly traditional and just color changed based off the normal, whereas she has much different markings compared to what you normally see on a husky, and so they're not really represented properly in this game. Okay, so that's going to be basically what we're looking for her base color. I'm going to darken that down a bit and maybe go just a tiny bit more brown. And we'll start kind of painting around with that. That's too red. I want mostly just darker. That's really red. I don't like how red that is. This is getting a little more brown. We'll kind of paint some of this in around her face. She doesn't have a whole lot of pure, or she doesn't have a whole lot of much lighter coloration. Honestly, I'm really not even liking this either, though. I'm just gonna clear that, and we're gonna continue playing with some markings here, because I think this is as close as we're gonna get. Because I'm not doing a very good job with actually being able to paint it. I think we're gonna do a lot better if we do something like this, and then maybe what we'll do with paint mode is we'll give her kind of a brown sheen. So like we'll take this brown, and then I'll turn the opacity way down, brush size way up. And we can kind of paint on a little bit more, not quite that much. We can paint on a little bit more of a brown coloration. Not a whole lot of actual coloring, but just kind of a brown overlay to give her a little bit more of that brown fur color that we're seeing. And again, this is mostly based off of her thumbnail image more than anything else. So more than just her normal coloration. And then I'm gonna lighten the leg area just a little bit. Like down here, I'm gonna paint a little bit of white over so that it's a little lighter on her legs, maybe. Maybe? Just that looks okay. That looks okay. We'll do that, and then I'll maybe do the same thing but darker just down her back. Give her a little bit more darkness here. Just a little bit. Not a whole lot. And then we will come in and paint in the white markings on her face because those are pretty important, and those are a very representative part of her character in her thumbnail at the least. And so what we'll do with that is, again, we'll just come and we'll paint that, be a little more detailed, and then this will just be like that. There we go. And so I'm gonna do a little less on her nose because I feel like that's kind of overwhelmingly. There we go. I'm gonna make the brush a little bigger so that the edges are slightly softer. Yeah. I think that's not too bad. Maybe I'll trim off the bottom there of that because she just has this little white patch on her forehead. So this is a little darker than I imagined her in the thumbnail, but I think it's still pretty close. And it has a lot of the traits that that she has, and so I think this will be pretty close to. I think this is as close as we're going to be able to reliably get it because I'm not a wizard with the paint, and I feel like I kind of have to be. So if any of you guys want to take a chance at this and try your hand, then by all means go for it because I don't think I did a very good job, but I think this is also the closest we're going to get. So with that said, let's go ahead and we'll put the harness. Where did it go? Here it is. We will put a harness on her. And we're going to use this nice blue. That's like blue camouflage, actually. That's gray camouflage. That's like shades of purple. Well, we'll go ahead and... I'm going to use this because I think it's the closest. Again, it's really not a sled dog harness, and it's kind of the closest we're going to get. So I think I'm going to use this because this is pretty much the closest thing that we have, I think. And so we'll go ahead, we'll put her name in. Her name is Rory, and she is female, and I feel like she kind of has a medium bark as well. It's not super high-pitched, but it's not super deep either. She is a husky, and I would say she's adventurous, and maybe a little bit stubborn, possibly. I don't know. She strikes me as being a little bit feisty. I think maybe I kind of want to give her stubborn. I think we'll go ahead and give her stubborn because I imagine too, as a wheel dog, you'd have to have a lot of determination. You'd have to be very determined, kind of, and so I see that as translating to stubborn a little bit. I also feel like Rory just has a very bold and competitive personality, and so I think this looks pretty good for Rory. I think this is going to be pretty much the best we can do. So we'll go ahead and we'll add another dog. We'll add a dog here. And again, not quite the right breed there. So let's go ahead and we'll switch to the husky. And I'm going to change the facial shape. And so we're going to make Chase here. And I feel like Chase has a little bit of, he almost might have... I almost feel like Chase has a little bit of Malamute in him because he strikes me as a fairly large dog. And, let's see here. Let's go breeds. What happens if we mix a Malamute and a husky? Because Chase does strike me as a pretty big and powerful dog. And so I feel like he might not be 100% husky. That was not quite what I had in mind because I clicked the wrong thing. I forgot to switch over there. I forgot it doesn't automatically do that. That's an interesting face. Man, that is giving us some really interesting noses. I think I'm still going to have to change the nose. So I'm going to mostly look at... Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to change the head pretty much no matter what we do. So I'm just going to, okay. Oh, okay, I'm gonna accept. Wait, no, I didn't, that's not the accept button is for, is it? Yeah, I'm derping this today, hi. Why won't you let me change the face? There we go, I guess I was clicking the wrong area. Wow, yeah, no, I'm not, I think I'm not quite, I'm a little bit, not processing this quite properly today. And I'm going to give him slightly smaller ears. And I think what I'm going to do is... Here, can we move? There we go. I'm going to move the eyes in just a little bit. And I think he's going to have brown eyes. I'm going to give him brown eyes. And that'll be a little bit different there. And then let's change the nose. The nose is going to be black because he's going to have gray fur. And I'm going to pull... Can I pull this up a little bit? Oop, not the nose. I want it there. Nope, that... Well... Okay then. Nah. I don't really like that muzzle, actually, because it's so droopy. This one, I think, is a little bit better. So let's set the ears up again. And here we go. I think, there we go. And then let's kind of change the size of his eyes. I'm going to give him slightly smaller eyes. And then I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to change the slope there just a bit. I feel like he does have a pretty thick muzzle. And then as for coloration, I actually do like this this pattern, but I think we're going to give him a little bit more of like a darker gray coloration perhaps. And then this will be kind of more grayish. Yeah, I feel like he has kind of a little bit more of the medium gray color in there. This is a little bit more blue than I was thinking it would be. Maybe, is there a way we can make it less blue? If we go like, well, actually that's not too bad. What if we do use black? I like that, I think. I think this is a pretty good look for Chase. And I actually really like how this turned out here. So I think that'll be pretty good for him. And no special paint job here. He's pretty, he's pretty standard, I feel, in his markings. Rory just is very atypical with that. So we're going to go ahead and go with Chase. And I feel like he has a bit of a deeper bark like that. He is a husky, at least mostly. I don't know. What do you guys think about Chase? Do you think he's a pure husky, or do you think he might have something else mixed in there somewhere? He always just struck me as being a fairly large, a pretty large, powerful dog. And I feel like he's pretty playful. And he generally strikes me as being fairly easygoing, but a little bit of a ham for the camera because he does like fame. And let's see. I feel like he's fairly friendly as well. He likes people. He likes being famous, but he likes, I feel like that translates a little bit to liking attention. And so I feel like he's kind of just a happy-go-lucky, friendly kind of guy. And of course, he does probably have a lot of energy because that just tends to be the breed trait for huskies. So I think that's pretty good for Chase. And last but not least, we are going to add Aeon. So, and did I get Chase's gender set properly? Yes, I did. Okay. I don't know what breed this is. Just a mixed breed. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and go to breeds. And Aeon is a German Shepherd, if I can find that right here. So I think I'm going to make her a little bit fluffier, maybe. Because I feel like if she's going to be doing sled dog racing, she's probably got to be a little bit on the fluffier side, a little bit more built for the Arctic. So if I do something like that and then slim her down slightly, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to adjust her muzzle. I feel like she's got a little bit of a larger muzzle. Maybe not quite so pointed. If I bring that up a little bit and make it a little bit shorter and blunter, I think that'll be pretty good. We can bring her nose up slightly and maybe back a little bit. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And then if I bring her forehead here, we can adjust it a little bit. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna round her ears just slightly because I feel like they're not just completely pointy. And you know what, I do want to move them back up just a little bit there. Because German Shepherds do tend to have big ears. That's one thing that my dog has too, is those very big ears. Sierra is a German Shepherd mix. And I think, let's see, German Shepherd here. What would fit Aeon? So the way I picture Aeon is actually a liver-colored German Shepherd, which means that instead of being black on tan, they are darker brown, like chocolatey kind of colored on tan. And that's how I picture Aeon, as having a little bit more of that. I'm going to scroll through here and see if we can find... There was that one that I was looking at Rory that I think... this one I think could fit if we change the coloring. Maybe. It's a little bit... I don't know, actually. Let's go back to the German Shepherd coats here. There's several of them. That's a very simplistic one. And then this one is a little more detailed. That's kind of an uncommon one. And then that's like the traditional. What about, like, I think this one is probably honestly our best bet. So if we go brown here, and then maybe we darken, that is red. That is very red. Actually, what if we do this color here, and then bring this, that's still really red. There we go, that's getting a little bit better. And then kind of a light cream. There we go, and maybe also light cream. I think that's not too bad. This is a little bit brighter than I maybe would like it to be. That's really dark. That's like a deceptively dark brown. What if we change this to that, and then maybe this here, and then these are, you're not quite, we're getting there. That's really red. That's a little more brownish. That greenish one is actually kind of brown. Let's see. We'll figure it out. That's, oh my gosh, that's orange. That's bright orange. We could even do green, do an alien dog, but that's not what we're trying to do. This game has some interesting colors, that is for sure. So I think, I don't know, I'm going to put this here, I think. And then, what if we do something like that? Maybe make her a little bit lighter in color. I kind of don't want, then it kind of is a little bit too much contrast. Maybe something like this. That actually looks pretty nice. And then maybe just a little bit, just a little lighter here. That actually looks pretty nice. I kind of like that. And then what is this one again? That's those areas. So we can make those a little bit lighter as well. So yeah, I feel like Aeon's just a little bit atypical in coloration as well, and I'm actually going to give her, I'm going to change her eye color. I'm going to give her more this orange amber kind of eye color, and I think we may change her nose too, because typically if you see the liver coloration, you're going to see brown nose instead of black nose. So I think we're going to go ahead and do kind of more of this coloration. I feel like she's just not quite your typical black and tan German Shepherd, and because even if you look at her coat in the actual game, it's more brown than black. You can see it's an off-color black. It's not pure black. And we'll go ahead and name her Aeon. There we go. Aeon. I'm still not sure how to say it. Probably never will be. I might switch between those forever. And as for her traits, I feel like she's smart for sure. I think she's loyal. And I don't know, she's probably not super friendly. A lot of German Shepherds aren't super friendly, like they can tolerate people, but a lot of them aren't super outgoing, really. And what else would I say about Aeon? She likes victory, so she's competitive. I don't know how that would translate, though. I think maybe I may just go with the active trait, because that's kind of a good all-around trait for a sled dog. You want him to have a lot of energy. So I think that's pretty good, and I think this matches up pretty well with at least how I've been picturing our sled team. So to start off with, we have Shasta. Oh yeah, we gotta give harnesses to these guys. That's one thing that I didn't do. Okay, quickly here. Pet clothing. And where did they go? There's the harness. And we're going to do red for these two. That is a really bright red, but that's very pink. I'm going to go with this because this is a little easier on the eyes and it still has the red. It's just not blindingly, wow, that's red. So I think we'll go with this coloration for both of them because they are middle dogs and so they have the red harness. So I think we'll go ahead and probably end off here, though, and I'll go ahead and show these guys to you one last time. So we have Shasta, who is our lead dog, or one of our lead dogs. We have some more in training, and so he is, he's kind of just a typical lighter-colored husky. He is fairly standard in markings when you think of huskies. And then Rory, who's a little bit darker and not quite as typical. She's got some more uncommon colorations, and again, this probably isn't super fitting. I'm not completely pleased with how this turned out. So maybe I'll try again at some point in the future, but I'm not very good with the paint mode. and her markings are difficult to replicate just by the natural coats that they have here. So this is Rory. But yeah, if any of you guys want to take a shot at this, definitely let me know. I'd love to see if any of you guys ever make any of my characters in The Sims 4, like, tweet me on Twitter or note me in the comments or whatever, because I would love to see it. And I think that'd be really, really cool to see what you guys have come up with. So, here's Rory, and we have Chase. And so he is kind of more typical as well, but also a little bit darker, so more along the lines, not quite black, but definitely darker gray. And last but not least, we have Aeon, who is a liver German Shepherd, and they're really, really pretty dogs, actually. They're very striking in color a lot of the time if you see them in real life. But yeah, so this is Aeon, and so that's the first part of our team. That's kind of our first, quote, main team, and the first one fully capable of competing on their own, pretty much. Or the first 4-dog team at least. And so when we have another set of dogs ready, we will go ahead and do another episode on them, but that could be a ways out yet, so we'll see when we get there. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and end off this episode here for today. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.